Where are brands going wrong when it comes to connecting with Gen Z?
Okay, it's different for every brand, obviously, but as a general rule of thumb, well-established brands aren't really aging down. They're being aged out by Gen Z as we look to become more original and be less driven by peer pressure, especially by these older companies and tradition as a whole. But yeah, in essence, consumer psychographics and what we actually find interesting are starting to win out over demographics about what we should be buying, whether it be traditional or bigger brands. It's been a slow decline for brands, but it's an extremely costly position for brands to be in because obviously they're losing out on Gen Z. And as we enter the workforce, we become more financially influential. So they effectively get done quite rough if they're not aging well with Gen Z. Now, there are things that you can do. And the first one is buy a youth-focused company in your same industry to energize growth. We've seen that happen a lot. L'Oreal buying CeraVe, Estee Lauder buying The Ordinary. Those are makeup brands, but it happens all the time. The second thing you can do is build a sub-brand. So like American Eagle, Maidenform, Mango did this as well. The problem there that a lot of brands run into is if you're using the same team and the same ethics and the same ideology and just the same blueprint to make the second brand that you're hoping will work with young people, the chances are that it won't because you've already failed. So something drastic has to change in order to work with young people. So if you can find that change and find the reason, then that's all good and go for it. But if you can't make the difference, then you'll end up putting yourself in the same position a couple of years down the line when your new brand aimed at Gen Z doesn't resonate with Gen Z. Third way is you can do both. Not many people do this, but Victoria's Secret did when they made Pink and then bought Adore Me. The fourth and final one is as a brand, you can look to energize growth in a new market from like a joint venture with a local Gen Z favorite. So like Victoria's Secret did that with Next in the UK. So prime example of that. Brands are also facing a different type of consumer mindset due to this rapidly growing gig economy, consumer-led sustainability demands, and a prolonged period of kind of higher than usual cost of living, and it's resulting in a significant reshaping of consumer behaviors. As a consequence, consumer behavior has been shifted in three main ways. We've moved away from possession towards access. Consumption has been expressed as a form of singularity or like self-identity making. And then the third one is consumption has been anchored on ethics and sustainability more so than ever used to be, and much more as a priority. Now, lastly, TikTok has ushered in this era of loud and proud consumers who have discovered quality dupe brands from perfume, makeup, gym apparel is probably the worst at this. Actually, Lululemon is the worst performing stock in the S&P 500 right now because of that exact reason. They make it not only acceptable, but almost like a badge of honor to have found these dupes and kind of buy them. Brands just need to evolve at the speed that Gen Z is evolving at, and they need to listen to them in the process in order to stay at the front of mind while doing your consumer research.